Alan Porter. Alan, what's going on, man? How are you?
Well, good today, Neil. It's not a sunny day in North Carolina. We're expecting 4 to 6 inches of rain.
Oh my
So,
goodness. So
yeah,
it might be getting cooler very, very soon in Pittsburgh. I think we'll be ready for it. So today's topic, now that you're retired, what do you do with your 401k? Alan, what do people do?
well, according to USA Today, 52% of workers have their money into an IRA. 31% have cashed out, which leaves about 17% that's still in the program. Now, there's many problems with this because there are much better places to leave your money than the company 401k. As you lose control, the company can change plan investment options, the fees they charge. There are several different things.
How much in the saving on average for 65-year-olds with a 401k?
Now, this is what's really scary. There's only $232,000 on average in the average 401k. And how long do you think that's going to last in retirement? People need to understand it's not about the rate of return in retirement, it's about the distribution of your assets. I've said this time and time again. You could have $1 million in a stock portfolio at a 4% distribution rate. That's $40,000 a year, but that's not guaranteed. If you're 65 and you have that same $1 million, you could take 650,000 of that, put it into a fixed indexed annuity, Neil, and get the same $40,000 a year. That's guaranteed for life. Plus, it increases. And even if that accumulation value runs out of that annuity, you're still guaranteed that money for life. So that eliminates the number one fear in retirement: running out of money before you run out of life.
What do
Another
you
thing,
mean?
Neil,
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
well,
Go ahead.
another thing, you need to diversify your money and put it into fixed indexed annuities and cash value life insurance. Again, this is going to give you increasing income and eliminate the risk in retirement that a stock portfolio, bond portfolio, real estate, or money market funds only compound.
What do you mean it's not about the rate of return? I thought that was all people thought about.
Well, that is what people think about, but they're not educated properly. And I've found this out over the last decades and plus some years. But when it comes to retirement, even the older you get, especially with these fixed and fixed index annuities, the higher the distribution rate. And they say that 44% distribution rate is a safe distribution rate to last for 30 some years. Well, now that's down to 2.8%. So you got $1 million. I think you're expecting to get a little bit more than $28,000 a year. But the
I,
thing is, Neil, and I've said this before, sequence returns risk. If you're age 65 and you took out that $40,000, then the next year you had a 100% or a 10% loss. Now that's down to 900,000 minus the 10%. I mean the $40,000 that you took out minus the fees that you pay that advisor, whether you make money or not. So the next year you're taking out maybe 15%, 10%, whatever. But if you have a loss in the first 2 to 3 years of a 10 or 20-year period, you're going to be out of money in the sixth to ninth year. Think about what happened in 2008, Neil, when some people lost 38 to 52% in their 401ks and their retirement plans. They're devastated. The first 3 years of 2000, you had losses. And if you put money in the market in 2000, you say $100,000 in 2000. By 2010, you had $96,000 minus fees. You probably had less than 80 some thousand dollars. And people don't understand this. But when the market crashed in 2008, you got to have time to recover. And it didn't get back to where it was until the fall of 2015, I believe. And this is like a 50% loss in the market. It takes you a 100% gain just to get back to even.
I know you've gone over this before, but what are some of the risks in retirement people should know about?
Well, what I just said there, the sequence of returns risk, covered the question before that, was the number one fear in retirement is running out of money before you run out of life. That's the biggest fear. I mean, it's unbelievable how much people are concerned about that. You can long-term care risk, which is extremely expensive, 50 to $200,000 a year, and no way to pay for it. But with these cash value life insurance policies, you're paying pennies on the dollar. You may pay, $50 for a couple $100,000 of coverage or whatever, but you'll have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in tax-free money that you can use for long-term care. And a stock portfolio sure can't do this. And the problem, people say, well, I've got long-term care insurance. Well, let me tell you something. Long-term care insurance, especially, is very expensive. And a lot of times it doesn't cover the cost of long-term care. But the other thing I tell people is just like term insurance. It's a great, all insurance products, as far as I'm concerned, are great. But term insurance, if you live one day past life expectancy, there's no cash value. And there's the same thing with long-term care insurance. You take it out at 60, you're spending thousands of dollars up a year for this long-term care insurance, and you die at 75 in your sleep of a heart attack. All that money's gone. There's no cash value.
What about the one commercial by a major company will tell everyone we do not sell commission products. We are fiduciaries. We structure our policies so we make more money when the client makes more money. Is that true?
No. Do you remember seeing that commercial?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's the biggest bunch of crap. Just let me say it, right out front, because I sent for his free report. It said, if you've got, I hate all annuities and so should you. Send for my free report. I have safe investments. Well, number one, he doesn't have safe investments. He has stocks and bonds, and there's risk involved with both. The interest rates go up, bond prices go down. The market is very volatile. The things that he says in those reports, some of it's good information, but some of it's outright lies. And to say that we're fiduciaries, we don't sell commission products. Well, Neil, I'm a certified financial fiduciary. They are not. I sell commission products. I don't charge a fee for my services. I'm paid from the insurance companies, and I'm not paid from the person's personal assets. So I told him, I said, listen, you said I'm paid anywhere from 10 to 18%. I'm paid anywhere from 2 to 8% for my insurance companies. And I said, if you do your job correctly and make sure that you pick the right assets, if you're charging just 1% in a 7-year period, you're going to be making a lot more than I'm making. And you make money when the client doesn't make money. That just doesn't seem right to me. That's the other thing. Now, there's great financial advisors out there that charge a fee. But the one thing I've always had a problem with, because I used to be a registered investment advisor, is charging people a fee whether they make money or not. That just doesn't seem fair to me. But that's my own personal opinion. And I think it's the opinion of many people out there.
All right. The best place to go is, first of all, you email Alan at strategicwealth, the number 0 @gmail.com, or call him at 910-551-1046, or go to strategicwealthstrategies.com right now to schedule a call with Alan today. Alan, I just think that this is the time, right? You better start tying up your assets. You better start before the gravy train ends, right?
Yeah.
Where taxes are going to go up totally, and start doing it.
It's like I said before. I show people how to reduce and eliminate both debt, possibly eliminate both debt and taxes. We are in a quandary now. We have the highest consumer debt ever. These credit cards, many of them out there are over 30%. That's where everybody's putting all their money. They're putting on the credit cards because they can't afford to live. They're either buying food for their family or paying rent. But Bidenomics works.
Okay. That's a good one to chuckle at. Bidenomics works. And this is where I think that as a society today, we should say we go after people that work their butt off, that work from 5 o'clock till 7 p.m. at night, work weekends, answer calls during their vacations. And we want to take their money instead of looking at, we earned it. All right. I appreciate it, sir.
So it's just like, I show people, I said, like, I can possibly show you how to reduce and eliminate both debt and taxes. If possible, I can set you up with a tax-free retirement. Taxes in retirement are going to kill people, and they're not prepared for it.
No.
As I said before, Neil, a 1% fee over a 30-year period in a 401k will reduce your income by 1/3. The average fee in a 401k by Forbes magazine and Lap Times is 2.99%. People are going to have less than half of their money when they go to retire. And on top of that, then they're going to be hit with taxes anywhere from 20 to over 55%. So I show people how to become their own bank, borrowing from themselves and paying themselves back, compounding interest for them and not the financial institutions, and eliminating the effective interest costs, especially on these credit cards. It's over 90% effective interest costs they're paying on the money they borrow. But the big thing I do too is like I said, I help to mitigate or eliminate the risk in retirement that a stock portfolio only compounds. And I look forward to anybody who wants to talk to me. I don't charge for consultation or anything, give me a call. We can discuss these things. If you're interested, I've got plenty of videos I can send you. My website has a plethora of information, but people need to be educated on what's out there because they're not.
All right, Alan. Appreciate it. Okay, that was the Strategic Wealth